What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Vermont Scale Customs. Thanks for stopping by the channel. So you are looking at the beautiful new MN82. This one is fresh off the presses from MN. Um, Placed the order on this, I think, back first week of December, and it showed up just a couple of days ago. Everybody would have loved to have seen it before the holidays, but you can't have everything. You know, it's busy that time of year. So anyway, this video is kind of filled with a whole, I guess, if you want to call it, just montage of different kinds of stuff that basically this $62 RTR truck is capable of doing. Now, I have added MN axles as well as WPL V4 tires sitting on aluminum wheels with the WPL weights inside with a little bit of foam treatment. So it's pretty heavy underneath, considerably heavier than what it is stock right out of the box. And it also now has metal drive shafts as well, which have been modified to be able to accept the larger output shaft from the newly redesigned gearbox and motor system that it has. It comes with the new ESC, which is, I will say, better than the MN99 era stuff, but it is still not what is required in order to make this a little bit more crawler than it is a trail truck. So keep that in mind as you're watching the video. It is really just a trail truck at this point. And like I said, it's an amazing, just beautifully renditioned version of everything. They hit all the points and all the details all the way around. I can't really say enough good about how good it looks. It's just awesome. I'm super psyched. Also, too, I'm super psyched on how it looks with the wheels and tires that I've chosen for it. Kind of back and forth with what I want to use. I'm kind of thinking about switching to a 68 millimeter. I've got my eye on a couple. These are 70, 71, depending on how you look at the ruler when you're holding it up to it. And I do get a little bit of contact in the turns and also too, and it's a little limiting with the flex in the rear ends. Kind of contemplating what I should do as far as that setup goes. But yes, it does, I think, look really nice. I think it kind of set this whole thing off. I've seen a couple of other versions, and I like mine the best. The color of this thing, you know, it's a spot on match for my 1985 Toyota 4Runner. I had the Hilux Surf in this color. RC four-wheel drive does one with a black cap on it. Mine had a white cap. And all I can see when I look at this truck is basically my truck with just a white cap sitting on the back. So I kind of hope they come out with a white cap because I think either I'll make one, maybe I can actually finally get into doing some stuff with some styrene and making my own. Or hopefully somebody will come out with one that we can put on the back of this. It does have holes in the back, which looks like somebody's going to be releasing a canopy for it at some point in time, which will also be a nice detail to have. What else can I say? Look at the amazing chrome front end on this thing. I mean, if you want to talk about a nice scale version of this, I have the killer body LC70, which is sitting on the RC four-wheel drive TF2 long wheelbase, and they are a spitting image of each other side by side. With the exception of color, of course, but the details, everything, bumper to bumper, all across the board, they nailed every single detail that they needed to hit. This has a really nice opening hood, which reveals the battery compartment underneath. If you need to get to any of the electronics or anything at all, it's a matter of, I think, 6 or 8 screws underneath, which releases the frame from the body itself, and then, you know, you can see everything inside and do whatever you need to do. It exposes the ESC. This also has MN's standard connector in there for the whole lighting setup, which I have hooked up and checked out. I have plans for this truck if we don't see a lighting kit come out soon, because I do happen to have a spare MN99 kit sitting around that I never used. What else? I think really I don't plan on modifying this truck too much past where it is right now. And that's simply because it's sitting on a very proprietary chassis that doesn't have any adjustment to it at all. The leaf springs are the leaf springs, and you're not really allowed any other options in the back. You're not going to be able to four-link this unless you really totally deeply modify the chassis itself. Now, I also wanted to do some of this slow motion footage with the front end on this concrete because it's a little rough, and I wanted everybody to see like what this truck looks like. It's definitely not bouncy in any way as you're cruising along. The suspension seems to handle a lot of it really well, which is something that I'm pretty impressed with, because keep in mind that's just factory stuff, and you're seeing it pretty much at top speed, but at 10%, like slowed all the way down, filmed in 240 frames per second slow-mo. So it kind of reminds me of those old Ford commercials when you see them like cruising along in the desert with like the little like whoops in the road and like the ripples in the road, just to see how the front suspension worked. Anyway, it's a really stable truck, and I think that they've done a great job with providing a cost cut, a cost point, a price point truck like this, doing what it can do fresh out of the box. It's got pretty decent low speed control. It's not a crawler by any means. If you want a crawler, you're going to have to put crawler electronics in it. But if you want a really nice trail truck that floats along really well, um, for a great price, there you go. You're looking at it. I think kind of one of the things that everybody knows about MN is that when you're getting into them, you sort of know that you're basically paying for a really nice hard body that's sitting on a chassis that's leaving a ton of room for improvement. So there you go. You get something like this, and then you take the time to kind of resource all of the options that you want for it. You work on it over time, just like you do any other RC truck, and you make this thing very much your own. And I'm looking forward to doing just that with it myself. I got some weathering plans for it. I hope there are some accessories that come out with it, or for it, I should say. I need to get a hold of a driver somewhere. What else? I should line up all the Toyotas I have at some point and kind of try and do some sort of forced perspective to see what I can get away with trying there, because I definitely have quite a few Toyotas in the RC collection at this point in time. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you very much. And we'll see you on the next video. I don't know what it's going to be, when, where, anything along those lines, but keep an eye out for it. It will be something. I think I've got a couple modifications that are coming up that I need to get done. So anyway, talk to you later. See you later. Bye.